I want to welcome you to our demo day recap. Inside this video, you are going to see some of the coolest things that are coming to the real estate technology space. And you're going to start to learn how SAM is replacing real estate CRMs for agents and teams across North America. We're going to be diving into a specific section, but stick through because this is one of many videos inside this series. And then at the very end, you're going to learn how you can claim an exclusive offer. Now, this was the offer we presented live to all of the real estate agents, but I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm going to give it to you. As long as you stick through all the way to the end, you're going to have access to this, and you're going to learn exactly how you can get into SAM once you've seen the power that it's going to bring to your business. AI is the hot topic word of 2026, and you are not going to want to miss a single thing that SAM has to offer. So without further ado, let's dive in.
Probably the most revolutionary change or thing that we want to share today is in our routines area. Now, routines is our name for workflows or action plans or whatever other CRM's version of that that there is, with this exception. Most CRMs that are out there are set up to create a big workflow of a big process, and sometimes they do a big graph of all these fancy things that they want to do. What we've done in the Workflow Secret, why it's called Workflow Secrets, our company name is Workflow Secrets, is that we're bringing this down to the bare bones, the bare necessities of what you do, and it really comes down to individual dates, all those important dates that we were showing for both the contacts and the properties area, including the listings, the transactions, the projects. All those important dates can be assigned routines. So as a date gets entered into them, then it automatically starts a process. That process, whatever it is, can be automation that does things. It can just be a reminder, hey, you've got this appointment, or you've got this deadline of some sort. You can certainly do that, but you can set up additional features to be able to do that surprise and delight, that experience part of this. So let's just, for example, we'll use this one as an example. Photography date. Let's say you get a new listing. You've put the information into the property. You're putting in the information for the listing, and you know that you've got to get some listing photos done. Well, some of the process might have been you call or you set up an appointment with a photographer, whatever, but you get a listing or you get a photography date. Whenever you get that photography date, you put that into SAM, and then it immediately, because it's set to active, it immediately starts this routine. Well, the main thing is, attend the photo shoot. That is on the photography date at the appropriate time. So if we were just to look at this, it's going to be attend the photography date, shoot. And actually, we just recently added a piece here where you can include the merge fields in those descriptions. So I could say attend photo shoot at 123 South Main Street, whatever that merge field is for that property address. It's on 0 days after the photography date, which is mathematically on the photography date. You're not adding anything, but you can set up numbers of days, weeks, months, years, even minutes and seconds before or after different date ranges. So you're setting these up so that it creates these activities in your calendar. Well, what this does is it then says, okay, I'm going to attend this photo, but maybe one day before, I want to send my reminder to my seller. I may want to send a reminder that same time to the photographer. Maybe I want to send a Slack message to my team that we've got this photo shoot in 30 minutes. Or one day after the photography, I want to do certain things. So you set up your process however you normally do for your photography for this in one place. And then you can add consistency to everything that you do. Anytime you add that photography date to a listing, it immediately creates all these things on your calendar for you to do or it to do for you. Hopefully, a lot of this is for it to do for you. So we're not creating more work for you. A lot of things can be done. If it's something that you've done multiple times, it should be as part of a process or a system of some sort. So you set this up. Now, some of the things that you can do as part of actions is you can send messages using a template. You can choose whether you send it their preferred way, whether they want email or SMS. And if they don't have a preference, then send it out email. Or maybe you just want to always send it out email. You can certainly do that. It's not a big deal. But then who is supposed to receive this? In this case, the seller, whoever the seller is. So you set these up to send messages. So one day before the photography date, this particular message would go out, and then here's the template for it, and it goes in and merges in the fields and does all the things that it needs to do. So it creates all that process and does it for you automatically, so you don't have to be messing with that anymore. So setting up automations for mailing or texting is very easy. You can do conditional messages. If it is a first-time home buyer, I want to do this. If it is a move-up buyer, I want to send them something different. So you can do things like that. You can add people to your call list. You can run webhooks so you can actually send data to other applications. Maybe you want to do something with some gift application of some sort, and you just want to send that information that they need in order to do that. You can update fields. Now, this is really cool. So as things change, or as statuses change, or processes go through their normal process of doing things, you can have it update the database for you. So you don't even have to go into the database and make the change manually. You can send Slack messages, notifications within SAM to other team members. You can stop routines. Maybe you've got leads that come in that they've signed on the dotted line and they no longer need to be on your routine for new leads. So you can stop routines, and you can even do stuff to handwritten. So lots of actions that can be done on your behalf without you having to do anything, and freeing up that time. And time is what we want to continue to save. Now, doing these things in the past have taken people a long time to set up their processes. Some people don't even know their process, which we can help with that as well. But if you know your process, you can certainly do what you want to within the system by setting it up. But let me give you an example here real quick on how easy it is to set up a routine. So I'm going to click on add a routine. Now, I can create just a blank routine and do that. I can come in here and say, set a reminder routine. Maybe, give me a reminder on closing day, set up a routine, and I'm going to do some special stuff with that. Or I want to do an entire workflow. Sometimes this takes 15, 20 minutes to go through your entire process and create a full-blown routine workflow. I don't want to go through that right now. I'll do a shorter version of that just to kind of show you what this is about. So one example that I like to use is like lead. Actually, let me do first time. Man, I cannot spell right now. Home buyer lead nurture. Okay, so for first time home buyers, whenever I get a lead that comes in, and I'm just going to say new lead from the website. Okay, whenever a lead comes in from my website, they've indicated that they are first-time home buyer of some sort. So I want them to get to this. You could have a different date in there, whatever you want. But what I can do is this. I can go up here and say, let Sam build it. I can then put in my overall objective. Maybe first-time home buyer for 2 weeks, send an email every 2 days talking about first time home buyer needs, whatever. Now, I can then send that if I wanted to, but I can also let AI do its prompt engineering and enhance that for me so that it builds out a better prompt for us. So we don't have to go in there and know prompt engineering, but it creates an entire piece so it knows what we need. And then I can say generate. Now, you can do that part right there in ChatGPT. You can say, generate me this list, and I'm going to go and put it into my CRM. And it'll give you something like this, where step one, day one, day two, day three, whatever, and it create all the things that needs to be put in there. But that's typically where it stops, is in ChatGPT. You then have to take that content, take it to your CRM, and figure out, how do I put that in there? Well, we've simplified that by coming down here and say approve and build. Now you can make any changes to that firsthand, but what it does now is it says, okay, each one of these elements are things that we need to build. Let's calculate the calculations 1 day after, 2 days after, or 4 days after, whatever. And then, oh, hey, some of these have emails. Let me create the template that I need. So it starts going in and looking at the context of what it's supposed to be doing, and then it starts filling out the information to build that template, either as an SMS or an email, depending on what it needs, or both. And then once it builds that, as it's building it, it's actually putting it into your voice. How do you write so it sounds like you? So it's more personal to what you are. Have you ever heard, never meet your heroes? This is kind of that. If you're out there using somebody else's systems, and people get to used to how you're writing and get a sense of your personality, and yet whenever it's different than what you normally are, whenever they do meet you, is like something's off, whatever. We had an individual ask us, well, do you supply us with all these documents and stuff? It's like, well, we could give you all the templates and all the systems, but they're not your systems. Create your systems and let Sam build it for you. Let Sam make it sound like you, and go through that process. So now it has created this workflow every 2 days, and like here, some financing options on day 2. So I can go in here. It did the calculations. It gave the title. It did the calculation piece. When it's going to be sending it, it created the action for sending the email. Whenever I look at that action, I can see it. If I want it to go out automatically, I can place the check mark in here. It does that for safety, just to make sure that it doesn't send something automatically that you didn't want it to do. But you can set it so it sends automatically. But I can go in there and I can take a look at that message, and I can see what it says. And I write short and sweet, and this is how I write. So it's in my voice and in my the way I would do stuff. So it just mattered going in there and creating that content. And as you start building out these systems, making them that becomes the simplicity of your day, because now things are being done that you've done manually in the past, but now it's being done through Sam, and it makes it so much easier. So you can do the same thing, the same process for anything that you do manually right now. If you go in and you are doing things and you do it, multiple times a week, or every listing I do it this way, set up a routine, set it up so you do stuff. And each one of these routines, you can set up checklists. So maybe, I want to verify certain pieces of information. I want to verify that the state field gets filled in. I want to verify the price, or, whatever it is that you want to have happen. You can have checklists. So the activity, whenever it comes due, it'll show you a checklist. Did I do this? And if it's a verification, it'll actually show you the value of the database field. And if it's not right, you can change it right in the checklist, and it'll update the database for you. This is cool because now you don't have to have that special knowledge that it takes to run software. You can just run it through checklists and stuff. So this is what SAM is about, and this is the things that is so critical for you in your business to be able to have systems in place. We help manage those systems. We help accelerate those systems, and that's why it's called Systems Accelerator Manager. So, Cody, I know I rambled a lot there.
No, this is great, and truly, this is kind of the power of Sam. Like, this is the one area that time and time again, one of my favorite questions to ask real estate agents when I find you guys in the wild is, are you using automations? What are your favorite systems that you have in play? And usually they kind of go, well, I know I need them, but I don't actually have them. And it's oftentimes because it's been so tedious to build in the past. Now, all you need to know is I need a new lead system and you can build it. All I need is that photography date system and you can build it. And let Sam help you out along the way. It's going to do all of the heavy lifting. You can take weeks of work, hours of plugging it into a system and turn that into just a couple of minutes to create it, maybe 10 to 15 minutes to read each of those, make sure it's actually what you want, and you're off to the races. So to me, this has been such an incredible piece. And Mark, you saved this one for time's sake, but the other thing that Sam can do when it's creating these routines is it can create entire series of routines that are all weaved together into routine workflows. So you guys are used to workflow automations that are going to consist of hundreds of steps. Well, now each of those steps can be turned into its own focused routine based on that important moment that happens. Sam is going to build out all of those. It's going to stitch them all together into a sequence. And so now these are much more easier, not only to build, but to manage, because one of the hardest parts is, okay, now you have a series built. How are you going to make sure that it's up to date and it's running for you? And so now you can let Sam do that too. Now that one does take a little bit more time. Mark, I know exactly why you skipped it, because it's going to build out, in some case, 10, 20 routines that are all stitched into these series, these routine workflows. But that is how you absolutely accelerate your systems being managed.
Exactly. One piece that I didn't really go over, but is extremely important, and can be very, very powerful, is within our landing pages, we have the ability to set up assessments. And assessments are questions that your readers or your subscribers or whoever can take, and it brings back scoring on different things. And what it does is it asks them questions. Those questions then get analyzed based off of what answers they are and assessed, and then it gives them feedback on how to deal with whatever that question, the answer on that question, what it represents, and how to deal with it. So there may be questions about timeline or finances, and if you don't have your finances, where should I be able to do stuff? Well, AI can build these assessments for you and then be able to analyze them for you. It automatically brings in the contacts for you. It automatically sends the assessment to the persons for you. And all this is done so that you have more information, good information about your leads as they come in, or your past clients. One of our people uses the assessment area just for keeping track of the person, but also updating records. So you can have it maybe send out to your people that don't have birthdays and say, hey, I'm updating my database. Would you mind updating with your birthday? Well, it gives them a landing page and they can fill out their information, and it brings it right in to the approval area. And then in the pending area, you can choose to approve or not approve whatever it is that you've asked them for. So there's some automations that will help reduce the time to even keep up with your existing contacts over time. One of the things that we do is we do have SAM set up for multiple different sizes of teams. You may be a solo agent, you may be a team, a small team, a large team. We have different teams, but our most popular is the 3-user system. If you're an individual agent, you can get SAM for $89 a month. If you're a team, it's $249. But we've got a lot of additional types of bonuses that we want to include with this. Number one is our brain in a box. So for the past several months, we have what we call our co-pilot. We also have a co-pilot light where people can, if they're at a point in their business where they want some help, some additional help beyond doing it themselves, where they pay us to do that work with them or get some extra time with us and go through that process over a 2-week period. We do a co-pilot light, and that's great and all, but there's only so much time in the week for me to be able to help the users be able to do things. So what we've done is we've put together what we call the SAM Foundations Program Guide. If you were to look into our brain and analyze what we were going to be going over those 2 weeks, that's what's contained in the foundation guide. This is something where we spend a lot of time going through different things, but we've nailed it down to here are the things that you need to do. Here's the process that you need to do. And normally, that would be an $800 value because it comes with us. We're actually including that piece with this. So it's definitely of value there. The other thing that we're doing is whenever you get your normal account, users get a single landing page, a single assessment option. We will 10x that by including additional landing page abilities to create additional landing pages. A lot of people charge $30 to $50 a month to have landing pages, and we're doing that in this, including it for you. Very, very powerful in being able to create those assessments, being able to create those landing pages of different types to do things, and also the emailing whenever you do lead capture, the leads that come in, we also include those as well. One of the things that we do every week is we have what we call our office hours, but this really is a way to have access to us, the founders of the software, and be able to have us answer your questions. This is your time to be able to spend just really asking the important question. Now, if it is something to do with, I'm having this challenge, whatever, where we would need to look at your data, we'd probably set up a separate little 30-minute time just to go through that so we don't share your data. But lots of people come to this and it's just an open time where we get to spend time with you and answer all kinds of questions and stuff. So that's a very valuable piece as well. What can you remove? Well, a lot of old technology, your old CRMs, manually triggering things. A lot of CRMs out there they don't do automation, and they don't do it with AI. And hiring lots of experts to be able to do things. You don't necessarily need all the experts that are out there anymore. And as we continue to grow, that's going to be even more so, because we're getting rid of more and more things that you need from external places. We're actually including them into the software itself. So being able to remove a lot of stuff. So for what we're doing today is you can get, for the next 24 hours, you can get all the bonuses and stuff that goes with this. You choose whether you want the $89 a month or the $249 a month if you've got multiple users. On those, if you've got some, definitely talk to us. If you've got people that are kind of support people, and they're not agents, but or actually, even if they are agents, we can work kind of through some of the user account pieces with you. But definitely, it's something that you're going to want as many people on this that's on your team as possible, so you can do the communication, do all the automations and stuff between each other. So that's very, very powerful. Now, if you are ready to order, you can go out to workflowsecrets.info/Sam order, and be able to get the system right now. For the next 24 hours. You can get all those bonuses that goes along with it. Otherwise, after 24 hours, those stop. You still get a powerful system, but it's definitely worth the extra for doing it early if you want. One other thing that we've done is we've helped hundreds of agents be successful with SAM. And there's a lot of people that do that with the do-it-yourself path. If you're that kind of person, it's like, I really like to do it that way, but I really need help. We do have the ability to do our Copilot program. Copilot is a 8-week program where we sit down with you 2 days a week, basically go through your systems. It's very customized. It's a one-on-one type strategy piece where we help you build out with your team the entire suite of what SAM does, helping you set up your contacts, make sure you get them imported and classified, and set them up. We help you set up the different links to systems, external integrations and stuff. We also help you set up those routines, and we help you think through the development of the different routines. This can be time consuming for most people. We actually go through and we can shrink it down into a very short time and make it very, very quick for you. It's just a matter of understanding your business. What do you want to do inside your business? And if you don't know that, then we help you figure that out. That's something that some people need to address. Personalized setup, all the different setup pieces, support, and feedback weekly. One of the things that is really nice for those people that are doing Copilot is that if they have extra integrations, things that we don't currently have, you actually get some of that. Depending on the integration, we can actually help build those integrations and stuff out on our end for you, and go through that process. So the other thing that we do is during that 2-week process, we actually include the subscription for you. So during that time, we actually don't charge you for SAM. And if you're doing a 3-user system, that could be $500 of savings there. So total value on that. If you was just to spend time with us, typically it would cost you around 12 grand to do all that. We've got it down to 3,600. You can do this. One of the limitations is there's only so much time that we have available for this. We've got people already going through Copilot, and we've only got 2 slots available. So if you're interested, certainly reach out, and we will work towards getting you into that. If you're interested in that, you can go to workflowsecrets.info/Copilot enrollment. So definitely take a look at that if you're interested.